This is my friend Ka, the snake. But don't worry, I have removed the venom. I'll keep it aside and will reveal it to you in some time. How many of you, by show of hands, have lost someone near and dear to you due to heart attack? How many of you lost someone due to chronic lung disease? My heart goes out for you. And how many of you have lost someone due to recently hit pandemic COVID-19? Look around. We are not alone. In fact, I was one of them who was badly hit by COVID-19 and saw death this close. Somewhere deep inside, this fear started bothering me. Is this going to be my end? I could see the fear in the eyes of my wife, my parents. I could sense the fear in the talks of my siblings while hearing them talking on phone with my wife. He is our only brother, and we don't want to lose him at such an early age. My entire world started revolving around me. Questions started bothering in my mind. Who's going to take care of my family if something happens to me? Who's going to take care of my child and her education? Who's going to take care of all the debts and liabilities that I have of more than 40 lakh rupees? I was not able to breathe and talk properly. I had many sleepless nights. There were so many things yet undone. I haven't shared the bank details, the insurance details with my family yet. There were so many dreams and desires yet unfulfilled. Thinking of all this, my heart started pounding. I was afraid. Luckily, by God's grace, I survived. But during this course, I lost some of my close relatives. If you face similar hardships, you're not alone. These are lethal diseases that have been killing millions of people around the world. But there is one disease that has been ruling the minds of the people for years and decades and millennials and have been killing them from inside. That reminds me of a quote from Benjamin Franklin. Most people die at 25, but they are not buried until they are 75. Just like these white ants eat the woods from inside, similarly, this disease keeps killing us even when we are alive. Can you guess what that is? Fear. Talking about my life, it has been largely driven by fear, both at the personal and professional level. I was born in a protective environment where I was conditioned to play safe, avoid taking risk, and focus on security first. As I grew up, I really struggled a lot to cope up. But we are not born with fears, right? If you look at a small kid, usually they don't have most of the fears. We develop this behavior through our conditioning and environment. I still remember it was a bright sunny day and I went to water park with my family. My daughter was 4 years old at that time. She was very excited and enjoying playing in the water. There was a big pool area and the depth of the pool was more than my daughter's height. She was enjoying sitting on the side of the pool, watching kids playing inside the pool. I was just standing next to her. I thought to sit beside her and give her a company. As soon as I bent my legs to sit, something happened. She suddenly jumped into the pool. I got really terrified because I was completely numb, not realizing what to do. For a moment, I was thinking, what can I do to save her? I could see that she was drowning and she was not able to come out of the water. My heart started pounding seeing this. I had the same feeling again. I was afraid. So do you think all fears are bad? There's some fears which are critically vital for our survival, like the fear of fire, the fear of water, the fear of wild animals, the fear of snakes. Oh, by the way, that reminds me of my friend Ka. Let me just check that it is still inside the box, otherwise it might create some chaos. Everything is fine, okay? So these are real fears and we need to avoid these fears for our survival. So all fears are not bad, right? Then where is the problem? Here begins the interesting part. There's another type of fear that is called imaginary fear. But I'm going to talk about it in some time. Let's first understand the real fear more. Imagine yourself walking on a forest trail and suddenly a tiger crosses your path. How many of you, by show of hands, would freeze seeing the tiger? How many of you would run away seeing the tiger? How many of you go to fight the tiger instead as our heroes do in the movies, no? By the way, during the preparation of this talk, no animals were harmed, okay? And lastly, how many of you would prefer to take a selfie with the tiger? Very popular these days. Let me tell you, if I had been at your place, instead of me doing anything, I'm sure it would be the tiger taking the first step. But do you understand why fear occurs at first place? Let's go back to the ancient times when the humans used to live in the jungles among the wild animals in harmony, no? Not really. Every day was a struggle for human to survive in the jungle because wild animals were looking for food. Every time seeing the leaves moving or hearing a sound would give a signal that there could be wild animal around. What would our brain do? It would release hormones and activate the freeze, fight and flight situation, due to which either the humans would run away or climb a tree to save their lives. The intention of this real fear was to save us from danger. See, our brain was conditioned as per the ancient times for our survival. It was not intended for today's environment. It is like today, we are installing a new software in the same old hardware. Now what's going to happen if you install a Windows 10 or 11 in old 1980s and 70s computers? It is going to crash, right? That is what is happening with us today. Today, we are not living in the jungle anymore, but we have different situations today. Today we are surrounded by imaginary fears most of the time. Like what? Fear of targets, fear of speaking to the boss, fear of speaking on stage, and so many other imaginary fears. You name them, and I had all of them. Today, sitting at one place, a person is thinking of all these situations and recreating the fears in the minds. What does the brain do? It releases the hormones and again activates the freeze, fight, and flight situation. But we are doing nothing. This leads to stress, anxiety, and worry. I hope you all remember the story I shared about my daughter who jumped into the pool. For a moment, I was completely terrified, not realizing what to do. I was completely numb. As soon as I got back into senses, I caught her with one of my hands and pulled her out and just hugged her tightly. Seeing that she was okay gave me a big sigh of relief. I thank God that she survived at that moment. Nelson Mandela once said, I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Just like every problem has a solution, so does fear. Just like any skill can be learned, conquering fear can also be learned. I realized this and started working with my mentors to overcome my fears. I learned neuro-linguistic programming to manage myself better. Now I won't say that I have been able to overcome all my fears, but certainly I am now more equipped to handle my fears. How many of you have gone to school? Everybody, right? Everybody. What is the first thing we learn in school? I won't say a zero, blank. It means A, B, C, D, right? I discovered with the help of my mentors during the journey of my self-development that conquering fear is as simple as learning ABCD. Would you like to know how? But before that, it's time to reveal our friend Ka, who has been waiting for long, right? So let me just open this up and reveal it to you. So here it is, and it actually has the ABCD. It's the solution, you see. And this is not a real snake. It's just a dummy. Were you scared all this moment? Did you notice that the fear was all in the imagination? There was no real snake or real fear. So coming back to the ABCD, A refers to avoiding yourself. B refers to breathing easy. C refers to community matters. And D refers to doing it anyway. The first thing I started doing is I started rewarding myself. Now why rewarding? When you reward yourself, it gives pleasure to your brain, and our brain loves pleasure. It releases dopamine and gives us more satisfaction and happiness and pushes us to try conquering our fear next time. When I recovered from COVID, I rewarded myself with my first PlayStation, something that I always wanted as a kid. Breathing easy. Now when I realized the benefits of breathing, I started doing breathing exercise. Focusing on your out breath helps to reduce your stress due to fear. The 4-7 breathing pattern, wherein you inhale for a count of 4 and exhale for a count of 7, helps to reduce your stress and relax and calm down your body. There's one more interesting fact. Fear and excitement both have the same emotion, same feeling. Would you like to do a small exercise wherein you will be able to overcome your fear instantly? Yes. Great. But before that, can I ask you one more question? Can you think of a situation when you were really scared and afraid, and on the other side, you were really, really excited, maybe when you saw your kid for the first time, or you bought your first car, or you bought your first house, right? I would request you all to please close your eyes and just follow as I say. Take a deep breath in from your nose and exhale from your mouth. Take a deep breath from your nose and exhale from your mouth. Take one more deep breath from your nose and exhale from your mouth. Wonderful. Now breathe as if you're excited. Breathe as if you're excited. Breathe as if you're excited. Breathe as if you're really, really excited. Wonderful. Now sit as if you're excited. Your body posture as if you're excited. Your body posture as if you're excited. Sit as if you're excited. Wonderful. Now create your facial expression as if you're excited. Your facial expression as if you're excited. Your facial expression as if you're really, really excited. Now one more thing. Just create an internal dialogue. Speak within, in your mind. My name is this and I'm excited. 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 Now slowly open your eyes. How did you feel? Could you feel the excitement? It is the same emotion when you're scared. So next time when you're scared, don't say I'm afraid or scared. Just say I'm excited. Community matters. It is said that we are average of 5 people we spend the most time with. Being a part of high achievers pushes you to go extra mile. Since last year, I have been part of 2 great communities. Recently, I had an experience of walking on the fire bed. Now, thinking of walking on fire bed, that too alone, and when you have to do it barefoot, sounds crazy, right? I was a part of amazing 65 plus community members, and everyone was motivated to walk on the fire bed. With the help of my community, I was able to do this and conquer my fear. Last but not the least, do it anyway. The best way to handle fear is to face it. Fear always gives us 2 options. Either you fear everything and run, or face everything and rise. Fear only occurs in the absence of action. Have you ever noticed that you were scared of talking to your boss or giving a presentation or maybe closing a deal? As soon as you perform that task, the fear disappeared. So just do it. The sooner you perform your task, the lesser time you give your fears to grow. Sometimes our fear becomes so huge and grave as a mountain that we become pet of our fears. That reminds me of a story. Once upon a time, there was a bus conductor who was small and lean. He used to work on the same route every day. One day, something strange happened. A tall 6 feet 5 inches man stepped into the bus. The bus conductor demanded the ticket. This tall man said, "Hum ticket nahi leta." I don't take the ticket. This kept happening for several weeks until the bus conductor got really frustrated and angry too. But he was scared because facing such a tall man wasn't easy either, right? So he contemplated and decided that he's going to take a 3 months break and work on himself. He started learning karate, going to work out every day. He started practicing speaking in front of the mirror so that he can speak with confidence, authority, and assertiveness. 3 months later, he joined back the job. The next day, when this tall man stepped into the bus conductor demanded the ticket. Same reply. But this time, something different happened. The bus conductor confidently and proudly demanded, "Why shouldn't you take the ticket?" To this, the tall man smiled and replied, "O Laledi Jaan, हम टिकट नहीं लेता क्योंकि हमारे पास ऑल इंडिया बस पास है. I don't take the ticket because I have an all India bus pass." So you see, all this time, the fear was in the imagination of that bus conductor, and it became so huge as a mountain. But the benefit of that fear was, he was able to become a better version of himself. Remember, fear only occurs in our imagination, in our minds. And all the good things are on the other side of the fear. So instead of focusing on fear, focus on what you will achieve when you conquer your fear. And your life will be beautiful. Thank you.